Hey, I'm back. I was like getting ready to get undressed or like take off my makeup and stuff from work, but I figured I'd do that with y'all. And I'm gonna start with my favorite little cocktail. I'm making, I don't know what you call this. I have water, ice, and take one of these Mio drinks. This is what I do to stay like, to maintain my weight when I want to drink. Like literally half a squirt because they're so concentrated. I got Knob Creek. I don't really drink this. I like Maker's Mark, but it works. Whatever a shot is, right? Okay, that's probably more than a shot. And then a splash of lemon juice. Okay. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to do all of this on camera, but it's really tasty. I think it tastes good. I think it tastes like a nice cocktail. It doesn't taste watery at all because this stuff is so concentrated. So if you're looking for a way to drink alcohol without all the sugar, like soda and stuff, or you're not like a diet soda person, you can have this. So I'm going to drink that, and I'm going to take all this off, and I'm going to talk to you all about motherhood and if I want to be a mom. I don't know. I'm turning this into a channel of like a stream of consciousness. Taking off this wig. Oh my gosh. So I've been like, because my parents are still alive, I'm going to respect that, and I'm not going to share everything. But my childhood wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. But it's taken a lot of forgiveness in my heart because I had a lot of mommy issues. And I have a lot of daddy issues too. Ooh, girl. Ooh. This is giving a lot of struggle. I'm not about to sit on camera like this all day. Let me get a ponytail holder. A lot of issues, basically. So I have a lot of issues. Parental issues. I mean, who doesn't these days? But I had a lot of issues, and I always grew up saying I never wanted to have children because I became a sister for the first time when I was 9. My brother was born, and then shortly after my sister was born. And I felt like, I didn't feel abandoned at all, but I just felt like, I don't know, it's just like it was different. And my mother used to be really mean to me, and I don't know why. Well, I think I know why, but I'm not gonna, like I said, my parents are still living, so I'm not gonna tell all their business. But nevertheless, because my mother was mean to me, I was mean to my brother. I was really mean to my brother. And it's one of the things in life I regret to this day was being so freaking mean to my brother. But I did apologize to him, and I think he's forgiven me, and I've just tried to be a better big sister now that I'm an adult and I've grown up. I was 9. You know what I mean? I was like 9, 13, 15. Like I didn't know any better until I was out of the house. So I try not to beat up on myself. And just the idea of like parenthood has always been confusing because it always just was like a struggle, like always complaining about not having money or having to do something for your kid, like driving your kid somewhere or taking, my sister has a different mother, so having to like take us to see my sister was like always a complaint of my dad's. And I was just like, what about parenthood besides bragging that your kid is doing well in school is enjoyable? Like, what is the point if everything about being a parent sucks? Like, why do people do this to themselves? So I was always like, I don't want to be a parent because it always seemed like it was just a burden. And now that I'm an adult, and I don't know, it could just be an age thing now. Like, I definitely feel like my clock is ticking, like biologically, my clock is ticking. Like, I'm like, okay, I want a baby. But I know I don't want a baby. Does that make, like I'm like, oh yeah, like, you know how, does that make sense? Like you feel it physically. You're like, okay, there's something that should be happening to my body at this age, right? But you're like, mentally, your mind is like, girl, please. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm ready for a kid. And I fantasize a lot about motherhood and like what kind of mom I would be and like what, you know, what experiences I would have with my daughter. I say daughter because I really want a girl. I'll take a boy. I'll take a healthy baby. I really will. And if you do have a child that like suffers with, you know, certain medical or mental or physical needs, I'm not trying to be offensive. I just know that I would prefer a healthier baby because parents who deal with children with disabilities are some of the strongest people I know. So truly the gender doesn't matter, but I always saw myself being like, I don't know, maybe I'm trying to heal that mother-daughter relationship I felt like suffered when I was young. So yeah, I don't know. I wanna be a parent. I worry a lot. Like, I feel like in this world, in America, I'm just like, I cannot imagine bringing a child into this world right now with this economy. Like, I want to make sure my kid is set. She doesn't need to be a trust fund baby where she never has to worry about money, but like I want my kid to have like a fair shot at life. I just found out about that Michigan shooting. I think it was 3 students were killed today, and it's just terrible. Like, and you can't let kids live in a bubble, right? You got your kids live, grow up, move on. And my nerves are just not set up. And I'm thinking about children that I don't even have. So I can only imagine the fear that parents that do have children deal with. And I saw something on TikTok and they were like, oh, parents that still have kids in this time are very brave because they still see the positive in life. They still see a better future. I don't, okay? I'm very concerned. I don't know. I don't know. And I want to be like, I want a good mother-daughter relationship, but I'm like, what is a healthy mother-daughter relationship nowadays? Like, I feel like every girl has some form of mother or father issues. Also having daddy issues and wanting to pick the right person to be a father. I mean, I don't think anyone really goes into motherhood planning on being a single mother, but even every day, like you wake up and people are trying to tell you that like your chances, even if you do get married, of being a single mother as a Black woman are like so much higher. I'm like, who's trying to raise these kids alone? Like, excuse you, like somebody needs to help with these kids. So I don't know. That's just something that's been on my mind lately. I feel like I've been using this channel to just, when random thoughts come into my mind, to talk about it. But parenthood, I'm in the air, and I want to make a decision. Like, I don't want, you know how people are like, I never wanted kids until I met my husband or I met my wife or whatever. I don't want that. I want to either know yes or no. Like I need like clarity, because I don't want my decision, that's that big of a decision, to be dependent on how someone else makes me feel. Obviously, you want to feel more confident going into parenthood because you have a great partner, you have a great spouse. Even if you're not together, you know that this person's going to be a reliable person. You know what I mean? Like that makes you're like, okay, yeah, like this is a good decision. But I definitely don't want to go in hesitant and have a kid and then regret the kid, because I was just so in love. You know what I'm saying? And I definitely want, like, I need more money. If I'm going to be in New York City, like I was thinking, I'm like, if I ever have a kid, my family's all the way in St. Louis. I'm not moving back to St. Louis to raise a child. And I'm not sure if my mother or my grandmother would come here and move with me. I mean, they probably would stay for like a month, but like my child wouldn't have like a family unit around them, which is not how I was raised. Like I was raised going to my cousin's house, going to different people's houses, going to my aunt's, my uncle's houses, like going to see my grandma, and like and I didn't think about this when I was a kid, and I was like, I went to live in New York City, that I would, if I ever became a parent, that my children would be so far away from their mother side of the family. And so I'm like, all right, do I want to date a guy who's like, or procreate with a man who has a family out here? Like, those are things that you just never really think about until you're like, well, it's a little too late now, isn't it? I'm sure there's people who moved away and started families, but I'm sure it's difficult. I'm sure some of you military spouses, what in the world? Goodness gracious. Military spouses struggle with that as well. But yeah. I don't know. I want a lot of money. I want my kid to go to a good school. I want my kid to travel. I never got to go on vacations. I always went on like dance trips and stuff. My mother did keep me on activities and stuff like that. Or we went to like Arkansas to see family. Is that a vacation? Like a vacation. Like I've never been to Disneyland, or what's it called? Like, what's the world with the whales and stuff? SeaWorld. Never been to Disney World, Disneyland, SeaWorld. Any of those places. Busch Gardens. Put on my bonnet for y'all. So I want to make sure my kid has those experiences. The first time I went out of the country is when I went to college. And I don't want that for my kid. Look how big this bonnet. It's time to get a new bonnet. But I'm getting ready for bed, so it's not a big deal. Like, I want my kid to have all those experiences. Traveling out of the country. Going on a cruise. I've never been on a cruise before. The first time I was on a plane was when I was 2, and then sorry about that. I was saying I was on the plane for the first time when I was 2. Didn't remember that, obviously. And then the next time I would be on a plane, I was like 19, leaving for college. And then now that I'm an adult, I'm always on a freaking plane. So go figure. But I don't know. Did you all have how did you decide that you wanted to be a parent or a mother? And to be specific, I'm a woman, so I'm talking about mothers here. And I feel like most of my audience is women. Like, did you always know you wanted to be a mom? Or did you, were you, I don't want to use the word coerced, or convinced that motherhood was a good decision for you when you were in a partnership? Did you always know you didn't want children? Or have you recently come to a conclusion that you don't want children? And did you know that you didn't want children beforehand? Like, did you just not want children because you didn't feel like motherhood or parenthood was possible because you did not have a partner? I don't know. Random late night thoughts. You know me. I am tired. We went into the office today for the first time. Well, not the first time. This is our second time going back into the office. I didn't get any work done in the office because I was too busy talking and running my mouth, as I do here. You would think I would get tired of talking, and I just never do. So thank you all so much for listening to me ramble. I hope you all had a good day today. Have a good night whenever you're watching this. Good morning. I appreciate you all still watching me. Bye-bye.